Happy Saturdays, everybody. And welcome to a fairly nice day, but blooming windy again. It's always windy at this end of the marina. I don't know. I've been to take the dog for a walk up the back there, and it was fine. It's fairly still up there. Still a little bit windy, but not like it is down here. But anyway, as I took the Mighty Hound out this morning, I was greeted by 2 cars blocking the road with all their luggage outside. What they'd obviously done is they had a hire boat, dumped all the stuff off, then went and got their cars and brought them out there and they blocked the road. And you know my issue with the car parking here and people parking on the side. Well, that wouldn't have happened if people weren't parked on the side. But also the hire boats were knobs where they parked. But guess what? I'm going to show you the footage now. But you'll see at the end, poor old Doug was sat there for quite a few minutes waiting for these people to move. They wouldn't move, basically, until they had loaded up. And they looked like they was trying to ignore him. They didn't even look up. So I thought, you ignorant flipping flips. You know what words I'd like to use, but there you go. Anyway, have a look at this. Yeah, have a look. Good morning, everybody. It's lovely out here, isn't it, Hector? Cold, but lovely. And you can see what happens there with bloody cars parked on the side, so no one can actually unpack us on the other side, so no one can now get through. Come on, Hector. And there you go. There's the problem. Mad, isn't it, everyone? Just mad. As I say, people are just so ignorant. And I think the world's kind of got like that. But we're not going to go on a rant today. Not at this point today. But it's strange when I've been looking back at the stats of all this 30-day challenge. The actual most popular one, by far, 4 or 5 times more popular, so a lot more views, was actually when I said the one Get a Life and Cook Outdoors, so about little stoves and stuff. And if you remember back earlier in the 30-day challenge, didn't invent really, but I made these alcohol stoves which were anti-spill, and then I made one out of one of the British stoves, which is here, British Army stove. So if I just open this, if I can, there we go, I'll show you what I mean. So you can see, so I put this, this is ceramic wool in here, then you put your alcohol on there, and yeah, doesn't spill, but there was a design fault. I'm going to show you that design fault now. I'm going to take this ceramic wool out, okay? Just place that there, or place it where it's not going to get too dirty. And now I'm going to pour some water in here. And if you leave that for a minute, I bet you're not going to see this on camera now. What actually happens after a few minutes, it all starts. I knew it wouldn't work now. I did it yesterday and it did it. But what happens is all this fluid comes out. So it drips out the edges, and I'll show you why. Bear with me a sec. That's funny. As soon as I took the camera off, look. Some poured out. So yeah, so I'm going to show you why. Let me just get rid of it. Well, I'm hoping you're going to pick this up on camera. I've changed the mode. If you look inside there, these are not welded inside here, those edges. Now that's a good thing for one, because I modified this other stove where I'd pulled those flaps down, look. So I can get this alcohol stove. Remember, these are the ones I was making, so that can sit in there. So that worked well. Okay, but yeah, those seams are not welded. So of course, it's a little bit of worry with fuel coming out, because if it is dripping out, it's going to set the floor on for whatever you've got this on top of. That's going to go up in flames. It's not too much problem if you've got a little mat out, because I use these things, but it's a bit disconcerting. So, and this is Stoke told me this, or said I could do this and try. So I'm going to weld up the seams with this, with the JB Weld, quick weld one. This could be fun, because I could get in a right mess here. I'm going to sand the edges a bit to roughen them up. Then I'm going to put a bit of JB Weld up in there, and then hopefully that will solve the problem. Might as well have a go, innit? Then it'll be the ultimate little stove. Just give them a little roughen up. They have to go too. You don't really even have to do this, I don't reckon, but might as well. I've got 2 of these to make. That's better. Looks roughed up enough for me. Probably can't see that. That'll do the trick, I reckon. So, the JB Weld. You've got to be really quick with this. I did buy the quick one. Yeah, the quick weld. after I've mixed it, I've only got 6 minutes to do the stove, to actually get it in there. And I think it's going to be a right mess, isn't it? So Lee got me a couple of these. So I've got a couple of sticks, what do you call them, skewers. And hopefully I'm just going to be able to put it in the sides there. It's not going to take a lot, but we'll do that. Right, back in a minute. Get yourself prepared. All right then, let's see if we can get this done. See if we can get the bottom off first. There we go. So I'm only going to mix up a tiny bit of this because, as I say, it's going to need a tiny little bit, and it's not worth putting enough down for both of them because it'll dry. So I've got to do this really quickly after I've mixed it. So we'll see how this goes. Never used this before. And it's not coming out evenly. That's great, isn't it? Oh well. That's not a good start, everybody. And now the white one's coming out more. God, I've just got loads of it now, haven't I? Oh dear. Well, that's not the best start in the world, but we'll see what happens. There's just shitloads of it now. So I've got to mix this together. Thoroughly exciting stuff for you to watch, guys. Me mixing a little bit of, basically it's like an epoxy thing, isn't it? Looks good enough to me. I don't know where to put this now because that'll just stick to something, won't it? Oh dear. I'll try and leave it perched up there. And I'm just gonna, I don't know whether you're going to be able to see this. I've got both cameras going, so hopefully I'll be able to get enough on here just to put it in here. It is going in all right, actually. I can see where the holes are. The holes are actually right in the bottom corners of this. So this is going to work. It's not going to need a whole lot. Right, let's put that one there. You know what, if I'm quick enough, I might be able to get this one done too. It's a bit more difficult because this is, oh dear, don't know whether I'm going to get this out. Yeah, well, bear with me, sorry. Try to get all this felt out. Oh my goodness, I can't get it out. Oh, I can. Once I've got a couple of bits out, it'll be easier. Here it comes. I've got to get all this back in somehow afterwards, but there you go. I can definitely see daylight in those corners. I don't know whether you can see it, probably not on camera. Anyway, it's still liquid enough. This one's holes are definitely bigger. Maybe this is the one that leaked more, because I know one leaked quite a lot, so I'm guessing it was this one. So make sure we get it right down in that corner. So you can see I'm just easing it all down in there. There you go, pretty sure that's done. Give this one another little go as I found a bit more liquid up here. And there we are then. Let's see what I've done. Not rocket science. I reckon that'll work. Now this is going to take 6 hours to cure. So it cures in 6 minutes, or it goes hard in 6 minutes for he, but it'll be fully hard in 6 hours. Nah. So we'll have to wait for 6 hours before we can test it. Anyway, get back to you in a minute. Look at these f***ers. They've been in those woods cutting the trees down. Sorry, but it really pisses me off. Just buy some wood, you type. They're not supposed to do that, because you can hear the road already, can't you? Sorry about the wind noise, I haven't put a mic on because I just wanted to do it quickly. But they're thinning out the woods all in here, and then we can just hear even more bloody road noise. Moan over, bye. Well, of course, I'm not going to wait for 6 hours to make a brew. Now I've got a bit of a stove fetish. I'm a bit obsessed with stoves, and I really am, because I love them, but I'm also a little bit obsessed with cook sets. So what I tend to do is I'll get a little pot, a cook pot, put some lighters in it, put all the stuff I need for me going out and having a wander and making a brew somewhere. So that's just all in one, like this little pot here. It contains a little stove and all sorts in there, and that's all I would have to take out. I'd obviously have to take some fuel, but have a guess what? Let me just reach over here. Ooh, I left it too far away. I got this lovely, and it's basically just a kettle and a pot, but I've made up another cook set. Now this is by Firemaple. What's it called? Antarcti. You can read that, can't you? It's a weird thing to say. Try and say that. It's a weird thing because you want to say Antarctic, don't you? But anyway, as I said, I really like Firemaple stuff because I think it's really good quality for the money. It's not cheap. It's not the cheapest stuff. You can get shit on eBay and Amazon for a few quid. Now this was closer to 50 quid for these two. And it is stainless steel and it's not light. So it's not going to be the lightest cook set. But it's so beautiful. And part of me doesn't want to use it because it's not going to be shiny forever. So there it is. You can see what happens. I'm just going to put something in this box to stop it flying away. It's still blooming windy, I tell you. So yeah, so as you can see, I'll just get it up closer for you. It's nested. So if I undo this piece here, let's just bring it here so you can see. Undo this piece here. This comes out and locks. And you can slide this down to stop it moving around. Take the top off. And look how cute this is. Isn't that absolutely adorable? And there's the pot, of course. So that's just a pot, which is great. Cooking soup or little stews or whatever. But inside this kettle, because remember, I'm making up a cook set. Take the lid off. Here's one of my little alcohol stoves with carbon felt in this one. Okay. Then here's my little mat to put it on. Put the heater on, the cooker on, whatever. Don't need to see that. A lighter. And something else here, which is quite cool. It just about fits in because it's flexible. This is the pot stand. Now, here's a bit of advice. This is a Lexida one, okay? And you get them on Amazon, I don't know, for 10 or 12 pound or something. But I was on Temu last night and you can get something similar for like 3 quid. So my advice would be go on Temu if you're going to get a little pot stand. Of course, you can see how I've made pot stands as well, but basically this just pops together like this. And it is so light. That's the one good thing I would say about it. It's really, really, really lightweight. Whoops, a daisy. Not the easiest thing to put together in the wind. There you go, that's basically it, everybody. So you can see that. Your pot goes in there. Obviously on the mat. Then your kettle will go on there. And that's it. So there's your little cook set, everybody. So I'm going to make a brew in a moment. I've actually got a cup of coffee already because Lee brought one out. She didn't know I was going to do this. So I'll give it a test in a few minutes. Speak to you in a minute. Actually, I want to show you something that's really good about this kettle. Okay, the lid obviously does just come off like this. I've got 2 cameras on here, sorry. But if you can see here, this handle is designed in such a way that when you lift it, okay, for one, it will stay up, but also when you pour, the lid won't come off. How cool is that? Just these little details. Well, then let's give this a go then, shall we? I like these bottles as well that I got. Again, this is another Amazon purchase. I'm going to put the lot in. This will make enough of a brew for me and Lee. Now 2 little cups. So that's about, I think it's 550, 600 millilitres, this. Can't remember exactly, I think I put it in a different video. You saw, I think it was actually on the very first video of the 30-day challenge. So, there we go. Just fill up my stove. This is the first time I've used this one in anger. I'm sure that'll be enough. Oh, a little bit for luck. As it's the first time, it probably hasn't got any soaked in. There we go, that's enough. Put a little guard round it first and see if I can get it lit. Look at that straight away. That's what I love about these stoves that I sort of invented. And that's it. You don't have to wait for it to bloom or nothing. That is now ready to cook. So just stick that on there. What's the time now? It's 11:30. So we'll see how long that takes. I reckon that should take 10 to 12 minutes, maybe a little bit more, because that's a big old kettle. One other thing I'd say about this kettle is it's got a nice thick bottom, a bit like my lady of the boat. So, and both have nice, decent, thick bottoms, and that means that the heat will spread better. So, yeah, not cheap rubbish. I'm going to put a link to this below, an affiliate link to Amazon, to show you what it is, and if you fancy getting yourself one, because I would recommend this one as a starter kit. Like I say, get this guard off of Temu, although you know, if you can't be asked, it's still not that much money on Amazon, is it? Anyway, we'll see how this goes. Right, we're pretty much there. I think the stove is now pretty much going out. Oh no, it's still going. I say that's the first time it's been used, so yeah, 11 minutes in. So that's not too bad. As I say, that was half a litre of water, or just over half a litre of water. Lee doesn't actually want a cappuccino, so that was a waste of energy, weren't it? I'm only joking. She's sitting there and she's laughing at me. So yeah, I think that's just about, are we at a rolling boil? Let's have a little looky. Getting some steam out of here. Yeah, another minute I'd say. But as good as done. So yeah, we'll call that 12 minutes. Another nice thing about this kettle is because this does stay upright, that's not hot at all. So yeah, we're proper boiling now. And the other good thing about this is you just blow it out. Lee's decided she's going to have a cuppa now. So it pours nice, doesn't it? That's quite important, you know. Some of these things don't pour very well. They go everywhere. And see how the lid's not coming off? What a great design. There we are then, girls and boys. I'm impressed with that, to be honest with you. Again, I'll put the link down below for this set. Obviously you won't get the stove with it, but happy days. You can't beat a brew outside. There's one other thing I wanted to tell you actually. Well, first of all, because this is titanium, it has cooled straight away. So that's the great thing about titanium. Stainless steel, this is still very hot. It's only been a minute or two since we poured the tea. Just thought I'd come back to you. But something else that's brilliant, I'm not going to touch the stove because that is going to be hot. But the beauty of these, doing them like this, is if you want a longer cook time, okay, because you saw me, I could just blow it out. So if it's only a little bit of fire going on, you blow it out and then you can add more fuel pretty much straight away, so you can keep your cooking going. So you just keep topping that up every 12, 15 minutes or so, because that's about the amount of time this will burn for. So you can easily cook for an hour if you do. You just have to refill it 3 or 4 times. So I think they're a blooming good invention. Anyway, bye. Well, we're coming to the end of another vlog, everybody, but I have got a little story to end this one. It's is it funny? It is a bit funny, okay, but when I do these vlogs, I do try and be honest, but people who watch these vlogs also know that I'm a piss taker, okay, and sometimes that's going to bite you on the butt every now and again, and this morning it might have put me on the butt a little bit. I've been reprimanded and told off, had me knuckles wrapped to say. Well, I haven't really. Obviously here I do moan about the cars, okay, but I don't mean it horribly. I just find it amusing. You've heard what I've said. That's just what it is. It's no big deal really, is it? But I have to have something to moan about. I've obviously moaned about the bridge, and I think it's ridiculous that, you know, you have to ask to leave and come back in. But I do understand that it's not a simple thing. But I'm not going to go into all that, am I? And say, oh well, they've been contract to this, contract to that, let down there, let down there. It's still ridiculous. And moving the entrance up there, I have one worry about that. If that's what's going to happen, I don't know what's going to happen. But if that happens, are we going to get back to that situation where we just have people wandering around the marina who we don't know who they are again? Because that's my worry. Because there's no office, there's no one to stop anyone up there. They just wander in. At the moment, obviously everything's locked. You have to have a key to let yourself in the gate, the passenger gate, pedestrian gate even. You're not supposed to come in there with a car. I think that's now a combination, so you can't get in there anyway. So anyway, I had a chat with Zoe here this morning, and she had watched the one where I said I thought that John should be a manager. And I know that's terrible, okay? And I didn't mean it in a vindictive way. I just have to say that my dealings with John have always been quite positive, and he supports Aston Villa, so he has to be manager, surely. You know, if Zoe supported supported Aston Villa or Luton Town, then she should be manager. If she supports both, then of course she should be manager. And of course, who am I to say anything? I'm just taking a mick. So just having a bit of a laugh and having something to talk about. So I'm glad we had a chat with her. So she kind of explained a lot this morning about what's been going on with everything. And to be honest with you, I kind of knew it anyway, but my issue isn't with the management here. I haven't got an issue with anything really, but the ABC, it feels to me that the managers here, I've said it before, can't do what they want to do without all the permission from ABC. And I've always said, I think if you're a manager of a place, you should be able to implement certain things without having to go backwards and forwards to the high-end management. But again, nothing to do with me, but I do think from what I do as a living, obviously I'm in communication, so obviously with advertising and all the, I mean, I know you might not think this, but I do a lot of consultancy as well, which is advising people how to approach customers. And the only one thing I'd say would be good for the Marinas to keep everyone updated. You don't have to say everything, you know, go into everything, but you can have gentlemen might do a monthly email, maybe about things that are going on here, maybe some nice things. Maybe why don't they organise a barbecue or let us get involved a little bit? I know it's difficult because it's not really a full-on residential marina, so I get that. I absolutely get that. But it'd be just nice for people to know that the bridge doesn't work. We have people, because I sit out here fairly often, I have people that come in there on their boats and they're shouting at me, saying, what's going on with the bridge? And it's like they're angry at me. And that's not on. And it's because they don't know that the bridge is naffed. So if they all knew that it was naffed, there wouldn't be an issue. And it's difficult for ABC, or well, for Marina here as well, because they have to keep coming and open the bloody thing. So where their people that are doing that could be doing something more useful. So I get it all. I do get it all. So for any of you guys down there watching, I apologise if you took umbrage at it. It's not meant that way. But I am going to say what I think, within reason, I guess. But yeah, so as I say, if ever I think I've been a bit out of turn, I'll admit it, perhaps I was a bit out of turn. So there you go. Apology. That's what I say that is. An apology if I upset anyone, because I don't mean to upset anyone. But I will take the piss. Anyway, that's the end of this vlog, everybody. Not the most exciting vlog in the world, but I said that about the one with me cook sets. And that was the highest ranking one so far. So there you go. So have a guess what? All that's left to say is please follow, like, subscribe, do all that nonsense. Don't if you don't want to. It's just the way life is. But we will see you same time tomorrow. Bye.